All right, we're going to take a look inside a pretty unique training program. It's designed for high-profile athletes, but what's really fascinating is what its core philosophy can teach every single one of us about cybersecurity. And what's so interesting is that it's less about fancy tech and all about your mindset. And it all kicks off with this simple, powerful idea. But look, this is way more than just some catchy slogan. This is the heart and soul of the whole cyber-aware athlete program. It completely flips the script on security. It stops being something that happens to you and starts being something that begins with you. So that really brings us to the big question here. What does it actually mean to be your own firewall? What skills, what kind of mindset, what does it really take to own your digital security? Well, to even begin to answer that, you've got to know who you're up against. In the digital world, especially for people in the public eye like athletes, but honestly, for all of us now, there's just this constant stream of threats. And make no mistake, it's a high-stakes game, whether you realize you're playing or not. And this right here really breaks down the problem. See, these attacks, they're not just random bolts of lightning. There are specific ways people are targeted, and there are predictable ways these attacks unfold. The first step is just learning to recognize this invisible opponent. It's all about learning to spot the patterns, in phishing scams, social engineering, all that stuff. I love this because it perfectly shows what the goal is here. It's about a total transformation. You're going from that reactive, kind of helpless feeling of, wow, I didn't know that could happen, to this really proactive, confident place of, you know what? I can protect myself. It's a fundamental shift from being a target to being a defender.
Okay, so how do we actually build this mindset? Well, the thing is, the answer isn't some app you can just download. It's a mindset you adopt. It's about you becoming that first line of defense through your own awareness and your own actions, long before any piece of technology even has to get involved.
So what the program does is completely redefine the word firewall. Just toss out the technical jargon for a second. In this context, the firewall is you. Think about it. It's that gut feeling you get about a sketchy link. It's the discipline you have to use a strong password. It's just being aware when you're at the airport. That's the firewall we're talking about.
And this quote, this really gets to the heart of that mindset shift. We probably click hundreds of times a day, mostly on autopilot. The whole point of this training is to break that autopilot mode, to make you see every single click not as a reflex, but as a real decision, a choice that's either going to make you stronger or open you up to risk. So how do you actually build a mindset like that? Well, you drill it, you practice. The program lays it all out in what they call a foundational playbook. It basically treats cybersecurity skills just like athletic drills, something you practice over and over to build muscle memory for your digital life. All right, here they are, the 6 core drills. So you see, it starts with understanding the game. Then you secure your gear, that's your phone and your laptop. From there, it's all about locking down your access, managing how you act online, staying safe when you travel, and then wrapping it all up with a recap to make sure it all sticks. This table breaks it down even better. And what I really want you to notice here is how every single module connects a big idea to a real, tangible skill. It's not just learn about threats, it's see threats clearly. It's not just use good passwords, it's build unbreakable authentication. See the difference? It's active, it's empowering. So the really crucial takeaway here is that these drills work together to build a complete defense. It's not just one thing. It starts with just being aware in your everyday life, right? Then it moves to actively protecting your stuff. And finally, it makes sure that security travels with you. That's mobility. It's a true 360-degree approach. But, learning all this stuff is one thing. Just like in sports, it doesn't mean much if you can't perform when it counts. So the program has this really solid system for making sure you're actually ready, that you've truly mastered these skills. And listen, this is not about just memorizing a bunch of facts for a test. The way they test you is all about practical application. You've got many quizzes to check in as you go, a big final exam to cover everything, and then, and this is the cool part, they throw these short, real-world scenario challenges at you to see how you'd actually react. So to get through this first level, you've got to hit at least an 80%. That's the baseline. That's the minimum standard to be considered cyber aware. But hey, for those of you who always want to do better, there's another level. If you can score 90% or higher, you get an honors pass, which really shows you've got a much deeper handle on the stuff. And then there's the ultimate goal, a perfect rep.
That means a flawless 100% score. And that term, perfect rep, that comes straight from athletic training, right? It's when your technique is absolutely flawless. In this world, just like in sports, that's the gold standard. Okay, so you've gone through all the drills, you've passed the tests. What's the ultimate outcome? It's about building something that sticks with you, a permanent, ingrained, cyber-aware mindset. That, right there, is the real prize. So what does that actually look like? Well, these are the real-world skills you walk away with. You can protect your own devices, you know how to spot a scam, you can travel safely, and maybe most importantly, you've built the discipline to make this a part of your daily life, not just something you did once.
And really, that's the whole point. Everything we've just walked through, that is the absolute foundation. If you don't master these fundamentals, any other fancy security you try to add on top, it's like building a house on sand. This is square one.
And that brings us right back to where we began. But hopefully by now, this phrase means something totally different to you. It's not just a motto anymore. It's a description of a skill set you've built, a mindset you've earned, and a responsibility you've accepted. So I'm going to leave you with this final question to think about. We've seen the playbook. We know what it looks like to be the firewall for your own life. The real question is, are you playing the game like you're the star player on your own defense?